It's time.
All right, here we go.
Cocktail show.
Get ready to have a good time.
Let's have a good time.
This is exciting, isn't it?
Oh, I like that.
Hello, testing.
Welcome aboard the Dreamliner.
It's the only way to fly.
Wow.
I've allotted 1 hour for recreational activity. There's no time for irrelevant conversation. Fun will now commence.
Cocktail show.
Garry.
Here's a young speaker who is really in demand.
Don't let that go to your head, Garry.
But wait, there's more.
I'm the guy. Finger gun.
Garry Meier.
3, 2, 1, 0.
Welcome to the Garry Meier Show Cocktail Hour Live. Live.
Cocktails. Ooh, drinks.
We're streaming live at 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 Central.
On Friday, September 13th, 2024. Yep, it's Friday the 13th, the day known for black cats, bad luck, and skipping the 13th floor. But hey, no need to worry. We've got ice cream, cocktails, and plenty of nonsense and yappetizers ahead. And of course, no matter where you are, it's time for a digital mimosa. I guess that's true even if you're George Bliss on the street corner somewhere on Florida's Gulf Coast. Anyway, please don't forget that.
The best way to watch this show is the GarrForce Live YouTube channel.
YouTube. Subscribe to the GarrForce Live YouTube channel.
All of the past editions of the Cocktail Hour can be replayed on the GarrForce Live YouTube channel.
Please like and share the show on all the social media channels.
Comments during the live show, wherever we are streaming, can be seen in our virtual studio.
We may show them on the screen
and or talk about them.
That's good.
Yeah.
Ooh, disappeared.
Thank you for your attention.
Now, fasten your seatbelts. It's time to go wheels up on the GarrForce Live.
Live.
Here we go. On America's podcast. Boom. Shakalaka. Hey, welcome to the home of the kissing schnauzers. Ooh. Wow. I just had some of the ice cream from Ken, and we'll get into this in just a few minutes with Ken. It is fantastic. But first, we have to do a few things. Let's kick the tires, light the fires. There are the tires. Light them up, Alan. And Leslie's got to remove that cat from her lap and her condom.
Here, kitty. I'm going red today. I'm mixing it up here. So
Klein. Is that Klein?
Yeah, it's Klein. It's a nice red zin. So we'll see.
How's the buoyancy?
I'm liking it. I'm feeling good about this. So
we shall see. 3, 2, 1. See, you just don't know. Sometimes it lingers. Now, while that didn't go anywhere, when Alan puts that into his medley of removals, it really works well when you're going boom, 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 and then.
And they can't all be, big busters. No. Sometimes you just got to settle for what you got.
Well, that's a new wine for you. Maybe that's it. It's a new wine.
I was drinking white yesterday, and let's face it, I drank quite a bit of white wine yesterday. I was out with the girls, and But
why? What do you mean? Why do we face it? What do we have to face? Let's face it. This is a cry for help. What are you saying?
Well, I'm just saying that I should tone it down today.
Why? This is the cocktail show. Tone it down on a Tuesday.
Okay. Then screw it.
There you go.
Let's
cheers.
Up. There we go. Cheers, everybody.
All right. Nice. Maybe the condom wasn't used to that new wine and didn't know how to react.
What do you do with a red? Well, I'm always afraid to drink reds on the podcast live because you end up with like a Kool-Aid mustache, and I worry that it might stain my teeth. So I'd rather not.
Oh my God.
There's a lot to think of. Oh, the planning. I was talking to someone today who was saying, like, how many hours you guys have to plan the show.
Yes.
And I'm like, yeah.
Yes.
Lots of pre-planning.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
We have
right. We have a rehearsal early in the afternoon.
Sure.
We go through everything, make sure the lighting and everything's right. And
absolutely.
We try to test
sound
the
check.
condom.
Sound check takes what, like
testing
a half
1,
hour?
2. And then Leslie does a few
Sibilance.
practice shots on the condom, and they usually go.
Yeah.
And then there's that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, oh yeah, no,
So-
lots of work goes into putting this together for you, including, having Ellen star all the great comments from people who've joined us.
Yes,
for
and
the
I'm going to go
afternoon.
to those in a minute. Did you see our technical advisor, George, in the opening there, hitting the bongos? He's in Florida, very close to Allen. And I don't know what he's doing down there, but apparently he's a street musician. And
Hey, a lot of people decide to change careers. Our own guest today, Ken,
Yes.
took a career path that he didn't start out with, and so we'll find out more about
No.
that. I mean,
All
look
right.
at us. We started off as a would-be pharmacist.
yeah,
Me,
a would-be, and not a would-be
a shop
broadcaster.
girl.
And there's Bongo Boy Bliss. What the hell is he? What is he doing?
He's actually dressed like a street performer, even.
Okay.
I'm wondering if the guy whose bongos those are is loving this or not.
Yeah, there's a street musician somewhere, and he either gave him $5 and said, "Let me do this," and the guy, after about 30 seconds, all right, that's enough.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is my livelihood. Don't mess
Right.
with
Don't
it.
mock it.
But George still added these graphics. I didn't add these graphics.
Oh,
Yeah, he's full service.
goodness.
He wants to move down to your neck of the woods, Alan. So you might have a companion down there before you know it.
You could be neighbors, and then you could
Yes.
both be street performers. Ellen, do you have any musical talent?
I was a clarinetist for a long time.
There.
Played
There you
That's
go.
all you
every
with,
every
played with
band
the
needs
Chicago Metropolitan Youth Symphony Orchestra. Yeah, I've got some chops.
one. Oh,
Nice. Let's go to the comments and
Yeah.
see if Leslie, we have our starter, Keely Ann. My friend ordered groceries. My schnauzer and I were in another room when they arrived. I heard the delivery boy shout, "Stick it in before it gets soft." Later, I checked the freezer. No ice cream. Oh, I like when she ties into the guest.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, K.A. Lloydster, come on in. It's cool inside. It's real cool in that ice cream parlor in Mount Prospect that we're going to talk about. Martin here every week from BC. Hello, Martin. And Bradley, Scottsdale, feeling like fall, down to 96.
Oh my, sweater weather.
God.
Is that one of those places that, like we talked about in California,
Right.
where
They go by the calendar.
yeah, and so they throw on sweaters even though it's still 85 degrees. There you go, Central
Yeah.
Florida, 86.
Yeah, Alan will have his heavier jackets in about a month, even if it's 90.
I'm noticing a trend toward really short shorts and then boots right now. So they're kind of
That's that Hawk Tua look.
yeah.
That's how she dresses.
Taylor Swift, when she went to the U.S. Open, was wearing something similar.
Okay, well, there's your fashion statement right there. David, as long as you have a schnauzer to play with, it's never an unlucky day. Oak Lawn, Illinois. How's your Friday, the 1-3 going? Have you had a pretty decent day, Leslie?
So far, so good. Yeah,
Yeah.
actually.
13 is lucky for me. And I don't have I posted this on my Facebook page under the billboard for the cocktail show. The number of people that freak out on Friday the 13th, millions of people. And they say the economy takes a huge hit because a lot of people won't go to work, won't do
Oh.
anything because they're afraid.
No.
Yeah.
And I've had a black cat cross my path several times already today. That's not a problem either.
Yeah,
Still don't walk
baby.
under ladders because I'm just afraid whoever's up there might drop something on my head.
All right. Dale, Wheatfield, Indiana. Hello. And who else? That's it? Okay. Charles, WRLR in Gurnee, Illinois. He's my 24-hour correspondent. He sends me a lot of stuff. Keep the schnauzer cool from the heat. It's still warm across a big section of the country.
I
Even
got
though
82 going right now.
Yeah, almost mid-September. It's not getting any cooler in a lot of areas. In fact, it's getting hotter. Oh, well, listen, this is the philosophy of the GarrForce. Stop pretending that there's some kind of meaning and, oh, it's all good. The planet does not give a damn if we're here, and we'll be here long after we're gone. Enjoy the moment.
Yeah.
That's it. What are you looking for here?
It's a short dance. Have fun.
Mike and Pat from Lake Barrington, Illinois. Go USA ladies up what? Up 6-2 in the Solheim Cup.
Huh. I was going to pour my wine into a Solheim cup, but I opted for a Riedel glass instead.
Samantha from Mundelein, Illinois is here every week. We love having Sammy on board. And Mac, Queen Creek AZ. Fall is truly upon us, and that we may not touch 100 degrees come Sunday. I'll drink to that.
There you go.
They've had multiple days of 100 plus and multiple nights of 90 plus. Mark, Clear Lake, Iowa, today sent me a picture of the Surf Ballroom and Buddy Holly site. Hallowed rock and roll grounds, indeed, if you know that story.
Buddy Holly, who's that? That's way before my time.
Rock stars and small aircraft, not a good mix usually. Bill, Friday the 13th from Glendale, AZ. A lot of AZ people in the GarrForce. We love it. And Thomas is in Whitewater, Wisconsin with Deb. Kevin, looking forward to some beer and ice cream. Good. Yeah. Okay, a couple more and then let's get to it because I've got my ice cream. I had a few hits before we went on and I got to finish. Deb, Des Plaines, Illinois. She's here every week. Thank you, Deb. Good to see you. Leslie, what flavor did you have?
Ed, by the way, I had, well, I got to say, my new fave is the sea salt caramel. It's just pure delight. And then, what do you eat in there?
Black raspberry chip. Right? That's what it is.
I did the mint chocolate chip. That was really delish. And their praline pecan. Boy.
This is so good. I feel naughty eating it.
Oh.
That's how
does it go? How does it pair with the Manhattan? I'm thinking pretty nicely.
Now, take a sip.
Oh, that's nice.
I feel like that Nutcracker during the Christmas commercials. Ooh, that's a bingo. I'm doing anything, as I've discussed on the program, to beachhead what's coming, and I'll do whatever it takes at this point. There's that black cat crossing our path.
Kitty.
Is yours on your lap, Leslie? Where's your cat?
No, I'm not petting the kitty right now.
All right.
That you know of.
Yeah, baby. All right. Are you ready for some Ken Dix?
Yes.
All right. Ken is the owner of the Capannari Ice Cream Parlor in Mount Prospect, Illinois. And I was introduced to Ken via Brian Sheridan from our house band, Oh Yes. And I'm glad that we got introduced because I'm hoping this is a long, long friendship that I can partake in his ice cream for many months and years to come. Because what I've just had is so good. So good.
It's insanely good.
And Ken started out as a fireman in Mount Prospect, Illinois. He did his time with that. And then about 20 some years ago, let's bring Ken on so he can answer some of the questions. Although we've a tape made, so we don't have any interruptions with streaming and all that. We learned our lesson on the Volo Auto Museum. We're pre-taping any kind of tour, whatever. And hello, Ken.
Hey, Gary, how are you?
Good.
In fact, Gary, why don't we run with the tape to begin with? We've brought Ken on,
so we don't get redundant on this whole conversation. So Ken, we're going to talk at the end of the tape because it's mostly you talking, and then we have some audio less video to talk over at the end.
Perfect.
And
here we go.
And just a reminder to unmute at that part of the video, Gary.
Okay, will do.
And Ken, here we go.
Thanks for having me on the show. Been a fan for a while. Welcome to Capannari Ice Cream. This is our 24th season in business. Started out in 2001. Really started out because we needed a place for families to gather in this town that we didn't have. We actually called one of the local ice cream companies a few times, and they decided they didn't want to open up in Mount Prospect. So a buddy of mine and our wives were sitting out drinking one night on a porch and decided that we'd open an ice cream store. So I called him up the next morning, and he said, "Ken, I was drunk. I am not opening an ice cream parlor with you." So we didn't can the idea. We called up my wife's sister, who lives in Cincinnati at the time, with her husband, who grew up in Cincinnati, on Grader's Ice Cream, and was the youngest of 13 kids, grew up in an Italian kitchen, and he said, "Yeah, I'd be interested." So we tried to get in touch with Grader's to see if they'd open up a franchise in Chicagoland area, and they said no. And so we took a road trip out to my buddy's sister's place in New York, who made their own ice cream, and Jim Capannari said, "Yeah, I can make the ice cream the way this guy does." And I said, "Yeah, I think we could make this work on the financial side of things." So put a budget together, a plan together, and the next thing we know, we were making ice cream upstairs in this facility. It's been a great run. We've had some great accolades through the years, produced some unbelievable ice cream. I hope you got yours and enjoying it with your team out there. Leslie, I hope you got yours as well. Hopefully you agree with me that it's some of the best ice cream in North America. I'd like to show you a little bit around the facility here. It's got some great history. It was originally the general store back in the 1870s, 1880s. After it was the general store, it became the blacksmith in town, took it over, and he ran his blacksmith operation out of here for a while. Back in the 1920s, it turned into a pharmacy, and weirdly, they had an ice cream counter in that pharmacy back in the 20s. When I was a kid growing up, it was Hotter Than Mother's Music, which was a music store selling albums, and they put a pinball machine in there, and then quickly after that one pinball machine, the video games and pinball machines took over, and they had just a small record selection in there. But it was a great childhood memory for me. In the early or late 1990s, the building was hit by a car, kind of shook the whole building off its foundation. They were going to tear the building down, but instead of tearing it down, one of the trustees said, "Hey, this has got some historical value to it. Let's call the owner." And they called up the owner, and it was the blacksmith's great-great-granddaughter who still owned the building. And she said, "I will sell you that building for $1 if you promise me that you'll return it to its original look." And so the village bought it for $1, picked it up, and moved it about 4 blocks away. And they were getting it ready to lease out to a dentist office, but it was all volunteers that were getting this facility up to livable conditions, and the dentist couldn't wait that long. So we came in and said, "Hey, we got a great idea for that building," and they all agreed. And next thing we know, we were supposed to open in 2000, and it got pushed to 2001 just because we had to do a lot of the finishing of this building to make the opening happen. So if you don't mind, I'll do a little walk around, show you some of the things that we do here and the ice cream we offer, and show you the outside too, because it's a really awesome place.
All right, Ken, this is the building. We're going down the aisle there, and
that's the inside of the building. We offer any time 24 flavors. So we have some standard and some rotators that come in and out. It's in the outside. It sits on a really nice park. Like I said in the video, the village owns the building, We rent from them, but the great thing is they own the park next door. And if I own that park, it would not look like it does because I'm not much of a green thumb. But they take a great pride in keeping that real nice.
I love so many elements of your story. And Leslie, why don't you pop on? Because I think you'll remember this when we had the guy on who was on Shark Tank, Cousin's Maine Lobster.
Right.
That guy we had on, and his cousin got drunk one night and said, let's do this lobster thing. And then the next day, one of them said, that's a stupid idea. And now it's a multi-million-dollar business.
We shouldn't do this. Yep.
That's what Ken just said with your brother.
Yeah. So my friend that I was sitting with, I'm sitting in his apartment right now. He's out Centennial Bar drinking. He's not even here. But I'm sitting in his apartment.
So he might come back and have an idea. And he might be drunk, but don't dismiss it. It could be a multi-million-dollar idea.
Precisely.
I love that. And I like the organic nature of the building. It's hit by a car and you saved it. And that's good karma.
Yeah.
All of that repurposed. It was going to be a dentist's office, but he backed out. And now you're doing things to send people to the dentist because it's sugar and stuff. It's all good.
Not to mention, we found that there was another connection. Our friend Rick Kempfer, who was your former producer, who's been on the show multiple times because he's also a really talented author. Turns out you guys have known each other since childhood, huh?
Yeah, we graduated high school together.
There
he
you
still
go.
lives in Mount Prospect.
6 degrees of separation. And you were a fireman, and then you got into the ice cream business, but there was no background in your family of ice cream. And you got drunk, and how did ice cream pop in the drunk conversation?
Yeah, well, we both the families had young kids at the time, and we were desperate for something in Mount Prospect to gather families around, and we had nothing. I mean, there was your typical parks and whatnot, but no like cool place for families to gather. So we said this would be perfect, and So in the video, I talked about going out and visiting friends' sisters. This was actually this guy's sister owned the parlor in New York at the time. So he thought it was a great idea when he was 3 sheets to the wind, but when he woke up the next morning, not so much. But we had no ice cream in town at all, so it worked out real well. And now we get a lot of people that come from towns around us that come in for it, so it works out well.
What, you won an award from Chicago Magazine as like Chicago's best ice cream parlor, and that was when you guys had just started the business, right?
Just started, and they have not run that again. So we're still holding the trophy for that.
One and only.
That's
okay,
right.
That's super.
Wow. And how does that impact your business when you get an accolade like that? You see the burst right after from your customers?
It's huge. Especially the local stuff. We've won some national awards too, but that doesn't drive any business. But you have, like when WGN came out with Brittany Payton when she was doing that around town or whatever, they ran it, I think, about 1 million times on their offshoot. And every time they ran it, we saw a huge bump in numbers. Or when like the Daily Herald runs something, it's awesome. It's just huge. It drives people in.
Well, I like the fact that you were a fireman and then you went into ice cream. So you went from hot to cold.
Exactly. Fire and ice.
So that's the yin and the yang. And now almost 25 years later, it's just doing gangbusters. And is it a seasonal business? Is the place open all year?
No, we actually shut the doors to the parlor at the end of October. We go to weekends only in October. And because the first year we stayed open through November, and I had 2 days in November where I had $6 in sales. I'm like, I can't turn the lights on for that. So we just shut it down. Winters in Chicago, they're brutal. So we opened mid-March around St. Patty's Day. Jim makes a Guinness ice cream, an Irish coffee ice cream, a Bailey's ice cream. So we have kind of that is our kickoff, and then summer comes around and it's full bore.
Wow, it's such a great
Jim
story.
is the mixologist here.
These
are all coming out of his noggin. And by the way, you mentioned in the video, did I get my ice cream? Oh heck yeah! And I got to meet your sister-in-law because she hand delivered it. And sweet woman, Barb. So Thanks.
Story about Barb. We hired Barb, and Barb and I work really close together on the catering side of things. And we were talking one day at a staff meeting. I said, Barb's my favorite employee. And my wife was sitting next to me, who also works for Capannari. That didn't go so well.
Oops.
Wow. And it is not easy to be a ma and pa business, as they are called in today's universe. But here you are, persevering almost 25 years. And that is still something that can happen and sustain, which is good to hear, because everything's so damn homogenous. On every corner, there's the same 4 fast food places. So that's another reason I'm sure you're popular, because you're not like a cookie cutter franchise.
Yeah, we get a lot of that on the catering side of things too. The people are so thrilled to have a local business and a mom and pop business, as you said. So yeah, it's worked out real well for us. And
what are your
continue going?
Top 3, 4 best-selling ice creams?
The black raspberry chocolate chip is our number one. It has been our number one from day one. We've just introduced Cosmic Cookie, which is, we called it Cookie Monster at first, but we had some issues with that, with the name. So we had to switch it to Cosmic Cookie. We had actually competition, and the public named it Cosmic Cookie. But that's a cookie dough and a cookies and cream mashup. And then he uses spirulina, which is algae, a natural food coloring, and it's blue. So the kids love it. And then the parents taste it like, this is pretty damn good. So it's moved into number 2. Vanilla is huge just because we use it in a lot of different sundaes and milkshakes and stuff like that. So, and chocolate peanut butter is another big seller.
That was my clown name when I was a teen. When you were a kid, did you want to be a fireman? Were you one of those kids? I'm a fireman, policeman, astronaut.
Was not. I actually am a CPA. That's what I did out of college. I did. That's another career I had. But I joined the volunteer fire department in Mount Prospect, and I'm like, well, I could do this for a living. Like, yeah, you could. And you work 1 day on and 2 days off. So I kept the accounting career going for a while, and then I got rid of that and got an ice cream while I was doing both, and then got retired from the fire department and went full-time ice cream. Wow.
What a great story, Ken. Where can people find more information out about your place?
Well, we are on all the social media, but I am horrible because I'm not on any social media at all, but we're on all the TikTok and on what are the Facebook and all
there you go.
Yeah.
X.
Yeah.
Yes, X and Instagram. That's the other big one. But our website.
Nerd, Boop, they're all out there.
Yeah.
And that is Capannari.com, correct?
Capannaris.com with an S at the end, yeah.
Got it.
And we're gotten the wholesale, so we're starting to get into some other stores that are carrying our stuff. Some other ice cream scoop shops. Triple Scooped in Park Ridge is a big one for us. And I don't know if you've ever been to Manny's Deli downtown. They're carrying Capannari's right now, so starting to build that part of the business a little bit.
Take that, Ben and Jerry.
Not one of our best sellers, but we did produce an ice cream that I think you would like. There was a chocolate bourbon soaked pecan. I might have to have Jim make
Gary.
that again. Wow.
Now that would go with a Manhattan. I'm
there
telling
you
you.
go.
But to be honest, that sea salt caramel, it's a new fave. It's just so smooth and delicious. Oh my goodness.
Going back to Shark Tank, whenever there's an entrepreneur who comes on with some food item that has to be put in the freezer, almost all the sharks are, this is going to be a problem because you have to pay for shelf space and the freezer is a limited space. And so, when you approach ice cream or any frozen product, you're self-contained, so it doesn't matter, but they're trying to sell the sharks on getting this distributed around the country, and they all kind of fold on. It's difficult because now you have to ship something that's frozen.
Right.
And I didn't know this. You shipped me some ice cream because I couldn't get to the store, but by the time I got it, and I didn't know dry ice evaporated. I thought there's going to be, I want to open it, it's going to smoke like I know dry ice. I opened it and the dry ice was gone, and it does evaporate, and I found that out.
Yeah,
part of the reason. we should mention part of the reason it evaporated was because your delivery driver delivered it to the wrong house first.
Well, yes. I'm in the front yard and the UPS truck pulls up and, hey, I got a package for you. I knew it was the ice cream. Oh, and I go, oh, good. It's my ice cream. And then he goes to the back of the truck and he comes back. Oh, I think I delivered your package to the wrong house down the street. So I'll be back in a few minutes. So he took off, comes back with the thing. It was still sealed. So that was good. And then when I opened it, the dry ice was gone, but I got it in the freezer right away and it's delish.
Oh, I'm glad it survived.
Yeah.
The enemy of dry ice is air, not heat. So
yeah,
doesn't like it.
Oh well, I never saw it gone. I always, as a kid, when you are first introduced to dry ice, oh, don't touch it, it, and
there are warnings. Yeah.
And so you're always like, oh, it's kryptonite, be careful, and nothing. I thought, oh my God, somebody stole my dry ice.
That UPS.
Ken, appreciate it. Thank you.
Hey,
so
my
much.
pleasure. Thanks for having us on, Garry.
We will stay in touch.
Please, I appreciate it.
Yes. All right. And I want to thank Brian Sheridan because this is another Brian Sheridan connection. And Brian, because he's in the band playing all over the Midwest, sees a lot of people and starts talking, and he's been aces on recommending different people for the show.
And well, he's the one who introduced us to our latest guest from Volo Auto Museum.
Yeah.
And that worked out so well. The other thing I should mention is later on in the month, I'll be broadcasting from Matt's barn. So both Ryan and I will be out there on the 27th, is it?
Yeah, 2 weeks from today. And our goal with the show is to go up there, do a show from there, and invite
bring some of you guys along.
Yeah, the listener, the viewer in, and that's what we're working on, if we can get everything lined up properly.
So I'm doing some scouting for us.
Yeah. All right. So I got the Manhattan on top of the ice cream and all that cold, cool stuff together. That works.
Nice. Oh, it goes straight to the head. I should probably set up the giveaway since we tend to neglect it so often these days. Let's do hashtag ice cream. That seems like the way to go. Hashtag ice cream. You scream. We all scream for it. And speaking of the band, oh yes, we've been giving away koozies, guitar picks, and bracelets, but I'm throwing in one of those cool wristbands too today. So isn't that, look at that. Isn't that
there? When you're playing tennis, you can just wipe your brow.
There you go. Oh, is that what it's for?
Oh, yeah.
I thought it was for support. I really didn't know.
All right.
Oh, that makes sense. Anyway, I got a Hot Wheels version of the Starship Enterprise. Is that not cool? Wow. I thought it was wheels. There are no wheels on this thing, but it's hot nonetheless. We've got some of those. They're not ice cubes, but they are disco, polychrome flash ice to throw in your drink and make it look really super. Oh, I should try it in a red. Hang on here. Let me freshen my drink and throw in a cube and see what happens. This is my cube. And it's reusable. All you got to do is dry it off and then it stops flashing. But for now, oh, look at that. Isn't that pretty? Oh, very nice. Let's see. Oh, from Decula, Georgia, we have this really kind of a creepy ashtray. It's because they're coffin nails, you know. And when you open it up, look at the thing pops out to hold your cigarette.
Where? What? Hold it there. Oh, I see. So you just put it on there, and the ash just drops into the coffin.
But then, boop! I blew it again. Here, let's hold it the other way. Okay. Ready, set. There.
Nice.
And it pops right out. So
you don't see ashtrays much anymore.
No, not seeing them. It's so weird to see how many people are still smoking. Don't smoke, people. Lung cancer sucks.
Yeah.
And it's horrible. And And you may not see it immediately, but the effects can creep up on you. I know firsthand.
Yeah, when you're young, you're thinking, no, there's no way I'm going to be affected until you get a little older and go, uh-oh. And vaping is smoking.
It is. So don't do it. Tracy from Wisconsin gives us the ball liquors and the bendables. Our own Alan Delinka provides us with a GarrForce refrigerator magnet, and the prize that started it all, your very own wine condom. There you go. Hashtag ice cream.
All right. In a few minutes, Alan will hit the button and somebody will win all that stuff. So Ryan is here, and he texted me earlier and he said, I had a guy come over, I believe an exterminator.
Oh, wait, gosh,
you're muted,
hang on, you guys. I forgot there are 3 other items. Parking permit, all access. I've got some Dick Tracy collector's cards from the movie, and I also have a pair of really cute little nail clippers for you. So, sorry.
Okay. That parking pass, that works everywhere. That's
that's
good. Yeah.
It's universal.
Just put it in your window.
Sure.
Okay.
Sorry, Ryan.
Ryan's muted anyway. He doesn't know. He doesn't know it.
Muted. There I am. I'm fixed now.
What's this like about an exterminator came over?
He came over to do some cleanup for me, and then offered if I wanted some batteries for my wife.
I don't know where you live. I know it's Waukesha, but it seems more like Mars, because every day people say things to you that are so outer space.
Absolutely. Every day. And again, I don't look for it.
And sexually
provocative.
Not explicit, but provocative.
Why would they say that? Was your wife in the room?
No, nobody was home. The dog was, maybe.
Would you like some batteries for your wife? Then you follow up? Did you ask him what he meant?
No, I said
Were
no.
you afraid at that point?
Leave it.
Yeah.
Leave it be.
Well, it's getting darker now earlier in Wisconsin, and I see everybody, they must be like, can't wait for Halloween. They're previewing their Halloween costumes. I see kids walking around. I see adults like in partial Halloween costumes. So it's bizarre too. So I'm not sure if they can't wait for Halloween. Like at the grocery store, someone had a skeleton outfit on with bathroom flip-flops, and
an adult.
I got a really weird catalog today. I got to show. Hang on, it's gonna take me a minute. I'll be back.
Yeah, I know that catalog. I get that once in a while, or I'll get one of these catalogs where I think it's called Whatever Works, and it's stuff that you might find handy around the house if you get it. Swiss Army knife and all these little
What's
things.
The name of it? It's got a weird name to it. What's the one?
Whatever Works, I think, is the name of it.
But there's another one you get.
Yeah. Well, I can't remember, but if it's the Whatever Works one, if I'm thinking of the correct
Hammer Schlemmer.
Schlemmer. Yeah, I call it Hamburger Schlemmer or whatever.
Yeah.
But you're going through it, and it's normal stuff you see in all those catalogs, and then you get in the middle, and
marital aids.
It's all marital aids, and I'm thinking, the marital aids company must pay a crap load of money to get in these catalogs, and they put it in the middle and think, well, by the time you get there, you'll be okay with it. It just pops, and you're seeing these vibrators and everything, and I can't imagine how they got that in there, except that they pay more than the other people pay. That's always the case with those sexual things. If you hear advertisement for a strip club on a radio station or condoms or any of that,
they pay
top dollar because the station, it's kind of like, well, we'll hold our nose and take your money. They'll take the money, but they go, we got to charge a top of the rate card, as they call it, because it's not our normal business and it's kind of skeevy, but we'll take your money.
So will we take their money?
Absolutely, right?
Yes. Hell yes. I said I'd advertise cigarettes if I could get away with it. Why can't I? It's the internet. There are no rules.
You need to change your name, Jägermeier.
Jägermeier. I told them I would. If they
I'm looking at the middle of this catalog, and there are no marital aids, but this is the Oriental Trading Company, and they sent me out this entire catalog of like Halloween lawn decorations, things you can give out in lieu of candy. What? Well, I'm thinking I might have to order some stuff for us for the coming weeks. But yeah, so if you want to be one of those families that hands out stickers or something in lieu of
Leslie, your
candy.
address is on there.
Oh shit. Sorry. Oh
Yeah.
golly. Oh,
Yeah.
great.
Well, now you're gonna get stuff.
Ah, hell.
Yeah. The first. Okay.
Could you see it real well? Somebody's gonna freeze it. If you're gonna freeze it, you're the scariest person ever. Don't do that. But here, look at all this stuff. Isn't this?
Okay. Here's the bit. This is something Ryan sent me about a year or two ago. It's an ink pad that is specifically to rub out your address on anything you're throwing in the garbage, recycling. Yes. And I love that thing because you can't get it more obscure than with this pad. Mm-hmm. I rip the thing off usually, but I like doing the inking once in a while.
Look at these. I mean,
wow.
Forget the 16-foot.
What is that? Are those yard ornaments?
Those are yard ornaments. Look at that.
Including the one that looks like a human turning into a lizard.
Okay. How much are they?
Only $100.
$89.99. 80. Oh, wait. One piece. 4 piece. Oh, if you want all 4, $359.98. So
free shipping.
Okay, let's give you some comfort here, Leslie. Tundra Blitz said I'm already outside the window, but then somebody said the address was fuzzy, blurry. Good. So Mike said it was blurry.
Good. And now I scratched it out.
Okay.
Gosh, damn it. Well, okay, and so
I saw you do it the
today's
first time.
Prize package.
Leslie, I saw you when you opened it the first time. You went, "Oh, there's her address," and I thought, well, she probably won't go back to it. And then when you went, "Here's where I live," if you want to,
damn it,
come by.
You know what? If you're that inclined to figure out where I live, trust me, it's just not that interesting, and people can find this stuff. It's out there, thanks to the interwebs.
She's in a gated community.
She's
gated.
I didn't tell you about the cameras and the water cannons and the pepper spray and the machine guns. The turrets on the corner of the house. Yeah, those aren't just for decoration.
Stick Save said he saw the address 1313 Mockingbird Lane.
That's it.
There you go.
Thanks. Thanks a lot for sharing.
I got a few pictures that you sent this week. You want to do those?
All right. Yeah, let's take a look.
First one's good. This is one of my favorites I saw this week.
Ryan sent me this, and I had never seen this picture before. Wow. And this has got to be 40 years ago, 35, 40 years ago.
It's from the Jeep you're going into disco demolition on. That's where picture's from.
That's 45 years ago.
45, okay.
And that would make me 52 years old, 57.
Right.
Oh my
you were
God.
a teenager here. You were all.
I've
12,
never seen this picture before Ryan sent it to me.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Got a Cat Stevens vibe going there.
Well, it was
little.
We'll go
Serpico, not Scarface. Serpico. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was hot that day. Very hot.
Oh, and look at the banded collar. That was very stylish for that day.
Right. That pharmacy collar. I guess because I was in pharmacy school, I thought, well, I'll pretend. Yeah, that was the style. Get this. I kept that shirt, the pants, and the Fry boots that I wore that night for probably 10, 15 years.
So it could go to the broadcast museum?
I just kept it. They were in the closet. They were there. I just didn't think about it. And then one day I thought, what am I doing? And Goodwill, that was that.
But you still have the hat that says Disco Sucks?
I don't remember wearing that hat. I was Waylon Jennings, according to Chris.
Yeah, there is that. Very good.
Okay.
Oh,
so next is creepy. This is creepy.
We talked about that story here. This is the story about the reborn dolls, and this woman breastfeeds this doll. That's a doll. Is it a doll's eyes?
She's got dolls.
Dead eyes, and she breastfeeds that doll.
Honestly, if your child is that old, you should probably be stopped and real. That old and real, you probably should be thinking of weaning them. But
she got more dolls there on the right. Those are her dolls too, and she takes them out and oof.
Yeah. That's not cool.
Yeah.
Here's
okay,
another.
Here's another.
Garry.
I was in a band, and I got rid of the beard, and I got the hair going. And this is when we toured Germany back in the early 80s. We were on tour in Germany.
Wait, is that Greg Potter up in front?
Greg, far right, Greg Potter, who's been on the show. He's a collector of crazy ass things too.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, that's the band we had.
I don't recognize anybody else in that picture.
I don't recognize anybody either anymore. Yeah. So yeah. Yeah, I got the tie on. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I have leather pants on.
Do you really?
Look at.
You remember because you were so sweaty at the time.
Yeah.
But don't get them wet.
You got that. What was it? Who was it? Robert Palmer? Was that the one? Might as well face it. You're addicted to love. Was it?
Yeah. Robert Palmer.
Got that kind of look going for you.
Yeah. The good old days. Okay. I got this from a listener. You think Vera Ellen's waist was small. Look at this.
That's not healthy.
Seriously?
I don't think so. Has she had ribs removed to do this?
I don't know how she got to that look, but that's smaller than 18 inches, which was Vera Ellen's waist.
Well, I mean, I swallow bites of food that wouldn't get through there.
Yes. Yes.
Holy shit.
Love you long time.
She's got to puree a steak dinner in order to get it through there.
Oh my God.
Good golly.
Miss Molly. What else you have? Okay, this was sent to me by listener viewer Elizabeth. She was in a Costco and it's already out.
On
Look
Christmas.
at this. Yeah. Yep. Always after Labor Day now. It starts pouring out. Are you remotely interested in thinking about Christmas right now?
No.
Folks, Halloween. Can we just focus on Halloween for a few minutes?
That's 6 weeks away.
I'm worried about what's happening tomorrow, let alone Christmas.
Yeah. I just hate when this stuff gets pushed down our throats and it can't go down that woman's throat because she doesn't have the stomach for it. But the rest of us get this stuff shoved down earlier and earlier. So
we had a story this week about a guy who went in for surgery. They were supposed to be removing his spleen, a splenectomy, if you will. And they accidentally took out his liver instead and killed him. Where do you think her organs are right now? I mean, if she had to undergo surgery, it would
Which organs are we talking about?
I don't know where anything is on this one. And her kidney's over here, and her liver's over there, and her spleen's up under her armpit at this point. Oh, shit.
This next picture is out of Green Bay. They're proposing bathrooms in schools with windows.
Why? How?
For safety. For
safety. How would they get away with this legally?
I think the urinals and the toilets are maybe over yonder, not invisible, but that's the mock-up of the bathroom.
I was actually in a building, a public building, a sports complex, and they had kind of a setup like this where all the sinks and mirrors were just around a corner, no door, anything like that. And then you did go into a room for your toileting, but otherwise everything was unisex and kind of out there. Which is, you're trying to fix your makeup and just.
I think it's probably cutting down on vaping and all the other.
That's the whole idea.
Stuff. Yeah. And then you can buy this beer.
That's just a prototype. That's not official yet, right? They're trying to get that through.
I think there's a referendum or something going on, but this has been all over the news and the web. And I finally thought, well, I got to look and see what it actually looks like. And that's the example it's going to look like.
Great.
And then you can solve.
I wasn't anal retentive enough as a teen. This I mean,
it's called the Peen Tom design.
Yes.
All right. What is this?
Local beer here up north in Wisconsin. Good ass beer.
Okay. And what are they trying to go for
I don't know. I just saw that pop up below the article about the bathroom, so I thought that was kind of interesting.
Have a
It's
good
got a
time.
halo and it's a monkey.
So I'll have to find that.
That's Wisconsin.
It is.
All right,
That's
Ryan. Thank you.
See you later.
All right, Leslie, we're going to take care of some biz, and then let's talk about what stories you have. What do you think?
Sounds like
good.
a plan.
Bettenhausen is first.
That's the whole introduction you're giving me to find it here in the list?
I'm sorry.
Sorry,
okay,
Alan.
here it goes.
Here we go. Now, Bettenhausen.
Bettenhausen Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram on 159th Street in Lockport has your ticket to anywhere. Right now, during Jeep Adventure Days, get $15,000 off your new Jeep Grand Cherokee Limited. Get a new Jeep Compass Sport for $23,900. Get $16,000 off a new Ram 1500 Bighorn or $10,000 off a new Chrysler Pacifica. Choose from over 900 vehicles. Showroom open 24/7 at cdjroflockport.com.
Leslie had a story this week about a house in Los Angeles where half of it was demolished via a tree falling on it. Is that how this happened?
Yeah, the whole front of the house had to be removed. Yeah.
Right. So it's half a house, and the owners decided, I'm not going to repair this. I'll put it on the market for $500,000 because that's how hot the housing market is in Los Angeles. And David is licensed in California, Hochberg. So if you're looking for a mortgage or refi, here's the guy, 35 states he's licensed in. And now that the rates are down, if you were thinking about it, don't be waiting like you did a year and a half, 2 years ago when it was 3. Oh, I think it could go lower. And David said, he was on the show, don't wait. It's 3. How low can it go at 3? That's what my parents paid in the early 60s, 3%.
And if you find the house you love, he'll figure out a way to finance it now, and then you can always refi when the time is right.
He has all those answers. Those are the numbers. Team Hochberg, your trusted local lender. And by local, 35 states.
Nice.
All right. You have some stories, Leslie.
I do. A 9-year-old in Indiana ended up drenched in urine after picking up a candle at a Dollar Tree in South Bend. Adriana Shelton and her daughter Gray were shopping for a gift when the child picked up a candle that turned out to be filled to the brim with a liquid that then spilled all over her, says Ms. Shelton. At first, we were like, maybe it's just water, but as we were walking through the store, we get a foul smell, and Gray goes, my shirt really stinks. It then became obvious that the liquid here was actually urine. The store manager offered the poor girl a replacement shirt and a partial explanation. Apparently, over the last month or so, someone has been peeing in their products, and so far they've been unable to figure out who. South Bend police are reportedly investigating.
Okay, let me get this straight. Somebody wakes up, showers, or doesn't. I'm going to dollar stores, doesn't, and I'm going to pee in candles.
Right.
That's a thought that gets executed.
And not once, but multiple times.
They pee in the candle. They get the candle. They bring it home, and then they bring it back. They pee in the candle at the store.
They said there are cameras in the store, but the candles are in a blind spot. So I'm thinking, time to buy another camera.
There you go. What good are the cameras? Blind spot.
Well, speaking of cameras and home security, police in Washington, D.C. are searching for a man caught on a home security camera having sexual relations with a cucumber. Homeowner Catherine Baker says she was disgusted and freaked out by the footage that was captured on her home security of a stranger with a lunch bag entering her driveway, lodging a cucumber into the grill of her SUV, dropping his pants, and then backing into said cucumber. The man seemed unfazed by the camera trained on him, casually removing the cucumber when he was done, putting it back in his bag, and then strolling away. Ms. Baker says she's doing her best to spread the word about this individual, especially given her home's close proximity to the local high school.
So this guy could say to the cops he was rear-ended by a car. Technically,
he's going to file an insurance claim.
Right. Technically, let me go back to that other story. Connecting it to what Ryan was talking about with those washrooms, you could be on camera in an actual bathroom, but not at a dollar store when you're going to the bathroom.
Yeah. There you go. Pretty much.
You could actually be on camera in a bathroom as opposed to a dollar store, somebody going to the bathroom, because their blind spots aren't covered.
But I mean, the fact we're even talking about what the F is wrong with humans? Come on. I mean,
yeah, think about, okay, now we move on to this guy. He wakes up, showers or doesn't. I'm going to take a cucumber into this driveway,
put it in my lunch bag.
Put it in my lunch bag, go to this house, sit in the driveway or stand in the driveway, put the cucumber in the grill and and do me. Really? You couldn't make this up.
And I mean, look, and the chick who's breastfeeding dolls and telling people about it.
Yeah. Now you wonder why we drink? I don't think you do anymore.
And 6 people were injured when a can exploded at the Kansas State Fair earlier this week. The can had reportedly been placed too close to a food warmer at the Fry Shack concession booth. The heat built up the pressure in the can, causing it to blow and setting off a small fire. In addition, 2 Fry Shack employees are suffering shrapnel wounds requiring treatment. The other 4 suffered only minor injuries.
Leslie, our hearts and prayers go out to them. Should we respect their privacy?
And maybe send them a deep fried Snickers bar or something like that. That festival food, yum.
Well, it's called the Fry Shack, and it lives up to its name.
It fried just a little bit.
Yeah. You done? We got one more.
Are you all satisfied with that? That's, I'm going to save some other stories for tomorrow.
Okay. All right. I think we are ready to give something away here, if not a lot of things.
Look at this. Look at this. It's a
prize package.
Look at all this fabulous stuff.
All right. Alan's going to hit that button. Here we go. Who's going to win it? Who's going to win the Hot Wheel that has no wheels? Who is it? It's Dale.
Dale wins it.
Alan, tell Dale what to do.
Dale, send your mailing address to Garry Meier Show at GarryMeier.com or text it to 773-888-2157. Regular charges apply. And Leslie will go down to the post office, which is the only address you need to know. And it'll
That's
come
the
to you.
return address on the prize package. Do not send any sort of replies to
People were
that.
saying in the comments that your address wasn't legible. So
you're safe for another day.
The good news is we don't broadcast this in high def. We're only in 720p, not 1080p.
Yay.
Oh, 1080p someday.
There you go.
Speaking of P, have you been to the dollar store lately?
And we should sympathies to Big Lots. They filed bankruptcy.
Right?
There's another, and one would think that a Big Lots is a store that could survive the economy, but apparently not. So it's
and if you've ever shopped there, good stuff and good prices, but I guess the prices were too good.
I don't know.
Too good to be true.
Something in that business model that just wasn't working. Well, look at, isn't that just special?
Sometimes nobody wants the overstock even at a discount.
I guess. All right. Well, next Friday, Jenna Duddleston, the official bartender of the GarrForce, will be here for her September drink.
Is it going to be pumpkin spice something? Isn't everything pumpkin spice right now?
Pretty much, yes. Yes, it is. All right. Are we going to get to the top of the hour? I don't know. I don't know if we need the tone.
Can you do some fill?
Let me do the traffic, weather. Oh, we can't until the top of the hour. I'm sorry.
That's right. Oh, wait. Here's a cat. Hang on. Every show needs a cat. There's
you should end the show by putting the cat back on your lap.
And there we go. There you go.
It's
honey.
the removal of the cat on your lap and the wine condom.
The wine condom and the cat.
And
the cat goes back.
And at the end, you put the cat back on your lap, and the show is over. What's that cat's name?
That's Tula. This is the older girl cat.
All right.
That's her butt.
Okay, we know that.
We could just post a future show completely in reverse. I mean,
yeah, right. All right. Well, there it is. Traffic, news, weather, sports, everything you don't need. That's it. Thank you for watching Central Florida 83. Got some rain down there, Alan?
It's raining, supposedly.
Is that because of that? Was that a hurricane? What was that down there?
It was a hurricane, but it was way to the west of us over in Louisiana. We got some really, really scattered showers out of it across Florida, but it wasn't hurricane or tropical storm related here.
Okay, you live to see another day in Central Fla. Thank you for watching. Here comes the cannoli down the aisle. It's complimentary and delicious. Please take it. What about the schnauzer on this 13th?
I would slather my schnauzer with some ice cream from Capannari's Ice Cream Parlor.
Wow.
Keep it
that
cool.
Sounds good.
Keep it cool.
Yeah. 3 in the green. We'll talk to you Monday. Gear is down. Flaps are down. The voice of the globe, America's podcast, the GarrForce, has landed.
And that's all the news and nonsense for this week, GarrForce. Thank you for streaming.
If you like that, I got other stuff I think you're going to like. This is the GarrForce.
Please be sure to like and share the show on all of your social networks.
More eyeballs.
If you're not already a subscriber, show your support by subscribing to GarrForce Live YouTube channel. For those watching a replay, that button is right here. All the rest of our episodes, right here.
Boom.
Hello?
Shakalaka.
Did you click something?